Football then and now, a fun look at football nostalgia and the modern game intertwined. Join us.
A warm welcome. This is a special preview episode, Chris. We've been waiting 3 months for the Premier League to return. Of course, it's finally here. We've had the summer tournaments, so it has come quicker than it would normally when there's nothing going on in the summer. So yeah, this is Football Then and Now. I'm Stuart Palmer and my co-host and cousin Chris Hume, and it's just going to be a quick preview. We'd like to go in more depth, of course, but we're going to keep it brief. Your thoughts going into this. Grealish signing today. We're recording this Tuesday. We don't play till Monday. Just people be aware of that. But your thoughts going into Monday, mate?
I'd say before Grealish come in today, I was a bit wary. Just due to the fact that, Alcaraz has signed in, and Dice, was one of our best performers, in an attacking sense last season. I was still a bit worried about that. The flair we didn't have on the right-hand side. And I know that still isn't sorted, why at this very point in time as we record. You never know before Monday someone else could pop in. You never know, How many times I need to say But I was thinking more of it was going to be a draw. I just thought it was going to be one of those, I know it's going to be hell because it's Leeds are back and it's in Elland Road and we know how noisy they can be and how they can get behind Leeds at their own place. But I was a bit, wary because we still needed players and we still need players now. I'm not saying Jack Grealish is the final piece of the puzzle of this summer's window because he's not. But my God, I think it must have made everyone so happy today to see that, Goodison, Bramley Moore, and Jack Grealish there wearing an Everton top. To be honest with you, I know we've been talking to City for a long time over this. I wasn't sure we would get over the line because, we're looking at wages and the price tag. And then I would have thought Tottenham might have come in and tried to pinch him. With obviously what happened with Maddison. I thought Villa, of all teams, I would have thought would have been in to bring Grealish back to the club. But yeah, I can't lie, mate. I was quite chuffed with this one. I was quite chuffed with Dewsbury Hall coming in last week as well. I thought that was an absolute pick. And I'm also surprised there, Stu, that no one went in for him either.
The Chelsea fans, what little he played domestically, he was playing the Conference League games, wasn't he? You've heard nothing but positives throughout about him. And that 60-minute stint he had against Roma, he ran that show. Him and Idrissa Gueye in the middle were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. When they threaded that ball through for Barry, did the hard work with the touch, but couldn't get out from his feet. I was going mad, but let's give Barry a bit of patience here because people are getting on his case already.
No,
it's the usual thing. Moyes said it's going to take time with him. He's been getting shot down for that as well. We need him ready now. Beto will be in ahead. Let's just. That's Barry's for the future, and they've just got to stick by him and get behind him. He's only just come in, but we always have this, don't we? But some positives from Saturday, wasn't there? But it was glaringly obvious when those two went off, the aforementioned Dewsbury Hall and Idrissa Gueye. It was noticeable. I found that O'Brien was having to push up on the right a lot, and they were coming in, they were closing in on him. I noticed that was happening. But competition for places now as well, Chris, which we haven't had to the standard. Last season when we had injuries, we were very threadbare, weren't we, in games?
Yeah, I think we still need to sign some, squad players. After we've gone after the targets we want, and obviously I know we've had to pivot for certain players. I think you look at James McAtee, we went for him, but Man City changed the goalpost, and all of a sudden now they haven't changed the goalpost because they're selling him to Nottingham Forest for the price that we originally were apparently quoted for. But we went to Dublin, didn't we? And Southampton were outrageous with the price and the 25% sell-on fee. So from what I'm reading, that we walked away unless that's a ploy because Southampton have backed themselves so much in the corner. I feel there's more excitement going into the season, and I think people should get behind Barry. I think Barry's going to be a massive surprise package this season. Was it one season in the La Liga, and he got 11 goals, and it's not it's not the Premier League standard in that case. But strikers don't always go to La Liga and perform very well, especially at his age as well. And like Beto showed in his purple patches, and the odd goal here and there after it. He obviously needs to be better with the ball coming towards him to hold up play, and he does need to put chances away because we saw that against Brentford before they scored in that game. How many one-on-ones does he need to score a goal? But he gets in the right places, and I think you look at the likes of Jack Grealish, who can pick a pass, and we both have said this on the show about Beto needs the ball to his feet, not over the top, and he's got the right man for the job now, hasn't he? So I just think people should just chill a bit. And O'Brien isn't a right back. We both know this. Okay, he played okay there when we needed him last season. Realistically, I think we want a right back, don't we, in this window if we can get one.
Massively. I wasn't knocking him before, by the way, but when he was getting up on the wing, it's not his fault. There was nobody coming short to him. I noticed a few times, but he had 2 or 3 players around him. It wasn't a criticism. Defensively, and the chance that the ball over from Dewsbury Hall from that corner where Tarky got on it, and O'Brien's at the back stick, and he wasn't far away from connecting on that as well. So he poses a threat in the box, doesn't he? There's a lot to his game, but as you say, he's not in his natural centre back position, is he? Great seeing Branthwaite and Tarky back in. Towards the back end of the season, had the injury, of course. Branthwaite, he was sent back, wasn't he? He was at Finch Farm for the minor knock, the injury. He wasn't in America, was he? But great to see them two at the back. That's the start in centre backs, isn't it? So great to see that after injuries. But with Leeds, Chris, they have signed people. I know you've got your finger on the pulse about players on the continent, scouting and all that. Is there anybody for Leeds we should be wary about, in your opinion, on Monday evening?
I was going to make a joke here and say Jack Harrison, but
he was getting booed, mate.
I know.
They were booing him the other day.
That's very unfortunate, because he was a good guy. You know what? He did put the hard yards in for us when he played the 2 seasons on loan, and he just couldn't. The end product wasn't there, was it? Wasn't where he was when he first came into the Premier League with Leeds. I think the players that I would probably say is Gamundes, Gabriel Gamundes, who they've signed. He's a left back, but very good and very quick. And he's their most expensive signing this summer so far. I know they got what's his name, Lucas Nemechi. Is it
Nemecha, who was at Stuttgart, wasn't he? He's been in Germany.
Yeah, he's got a twin. He's got a brother as well. They both started at City, didn't they, at a young age, and then obviously City did their thing and sell them on. But I think he was he at Stuttgart with Werder Bremen, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a stint in Germany.
So, again, there's another player that's played in the Bundesliga, and I think, I think players who come from the Bundesliga to the Premier League get the Premier League a bit quicker than most players, coming from a different continent. Other than that, Stu, they haven't really made anything else. I know they went for Igor Paxo, didn't they, the Brazilian? I don't know where that's up to, unless they've walked away from it or they're still going for him. There hasn't been much information on that for me to really chase. But he's another one, Stu. They get him. He's a solid player. I think they're finding it difficult. We've had this conversation, was it last week, with Nate, and teams are finding it difficult. Sunderland aren't. Sunderland is still, bagging on these players, and I'm looking forward to seeing all these young French players that they're bagging in at the moment, because terrific, and Xhaka being there for them. But everyone else, really, Stu, you're still looking at it. People are still struggling.
Palace.
They're losing games now, aren't they?
It hinges on what happens with Gay, but I could see him staying. Eze, I think they're waiting to see. But again, after winning on the weekend,
I don't think Gay's Paul Joyce put out the Liverpool will put a bid in now.
Oh my God! Well, they're going to have a spend then, aren't they? That's going to be, and that is only fair for Glasner and Fulham as well.
Villa haven't done anything yet, have they?
Nothing at all.
They bought one player, didn't they? Yeah, I think they did. They bought he's a French striker. I think he at Strasbourg as well. Ivan Goodsard. I think that was his name.
Like 20-odd million, wasn't it? 26 million for him. We were linked with him.
Yeah, he's not the French striker I'd like. But there's another. I mean, there's a right winger out there, Stuart, from Strasbourg, the Bakwai, who we've been linked with. And he's fast, Stuart, strong. I mean, gets the ball down and runs. But he's not one of them who just runs and that's all he can do. He's not a Traore in that sense where there's nothing else after the pace. He can score and he can put the balls in. Whether or not, that happens is a different thing. Like I said, the whole dribbling things that you don't know where to deploy, do you? You just don't know if we'll go back in and Southampton buckle a bit. But then that's something, we can hold a bit towards the end of this transfer window. But yeah, everyone's finding it hard. Well, everyone minus the top 6, we say, are finding it hard. But I think Dewsbury Hall, Jack Grealish coming in, this week and last week, I think it has raised us a bit. We still know what we need. I still think we need, obviously, most definitely we need a right winger. That's, a shoe-in. I would like a right back and I'd like a number 6 in central midfield.
I wouldn't be opposed to Fatari from Leicester, but that's a work in progress because he's young yet. It's not necessarily, but he can play both sides. And what I've seen in highlights and a few live games I watched with Leicester, I know Leicester struggled last season, but I think Moyes is looking at it from a squad perspective, isn't he? As well, he'd be there, on the cusp coming in. I wouldn't be opposed to him. I like the look of him last season as much as Leicester struggled. There's just so many links.
There will be now, even more so.
It's been nice to see those get nailed down. Two Englishmen coming into the club. But yeah, a prediction. We know Elland Road is a bear pit.
It is a bear pit.
It's hostile, and they're going to be bang up for it. It's the first game, so it's difficult for us, of course. I was with you when you were saying earlier on. I was thinking a draw before these signings happened when I was looking at it, but I think we can edge it. I think we can come out of there with a 2-1. But not taking Leeds for granted, one iota there with that. It could be very difficult. But I think if we can get on the ball and play and do what we do, Njai, Grealish and the lads, I think they can do it.
It's everyone complementing each other, isn't it? In as you say, you can have Grealish as a 10 and to have him as a floater, can't you? And Njai obviously on the left and on the right. That's a difficult one because at this very point in time, it could be McNeil. You mean they could move Ndiaye over there because he plays on the right for Senegal, doesn't he? And move Jack to the left.
Charlie was doing a little bit on Saturday, wasn't he? And then obviously Njai went over to the right. He was doing so. There is
options.
Yeah.
But as I say, naturally you want a right winger, don't you? A proper right winger,
100%.
Not a mixed up one.
100%. Just
but
to
that front line,
nail it down.
If that can get working, and then you have Dewsbury Hall and Gay or Garner and Dewsbury Hall, I think you probably go Dewsbury Hall and Gay really, and Garner just have to fight for his place. I think a solid. I think the only worry is it's as you say, it's Elland Road. There's a Premier League team just been promoted. We haven't done very well against Premier League promoted teams, have we? Opening day for quite a while now. We haven't even won on an opening day for quite a while either. I think 2-1's probably an easy one to stick with. I'm going to put my neck on the line because I'm sick and tired of playing safety. And I'm going to go 3-0 us.
You're going to give them a absolute roasting by the end of it.
Yeah. Why not?
Hey, I'm not disputing it.
No. I just think why not? I think at this point in time is why can't we turn into like the Nottingham Forest of this season with the players that we bought, and shock a few clubs and come out, racing instead of the normal slow Everton until we pick up towards October, like we always used to do under Moyes. I think just go in there with the players we've got, utilise the likes of Grealish and Dewsbury Hall and Ndiaye, and just, put a statement out. This is the new Everton.
100%. We look forward to it. We've got to wait with the last game of the game week, of course. And then on to Brighton, which we'll hopefully speak about. Hopefully I'll be around for that. I don't know. The first home game officially at Bramley-Moore Dock, the Hill Dickinson Stadium. But yeah, it's the window is looking a lot better than it did a couple of weeks ago. But he knows he's got to get more people in. So we look forward to it on Monday evening, live on Sky, of course. And as we said, it's not going to be easy. Leeds have, they've been up and down coming into the league. So they need to make a statement, don't they? But first game of the season, it's always iffy. Iffy, but we look forward to it. This was a bite-sized edition, just a bite-sized preview of our Everton, of course. And we'll be back very, very soon for another episode. It'll probably be, around the Premier League, I would imagine. This has been pre-taped, as I said. This is Tuesday, but this is for Monday. I think it'll be out. We'll have this out Sunday. Yeah, the day before. So take care, guys. This has been Football Then and Now, Premier League preview for Leeds United against Everton, and we'll see you very, very soon.
See you soon.
Football Then and Now, a fun look at football nostalgia and the modern game intertwined. Join us.